Actione!
Wow, that actually worked good.
Oh, nice. Cool. Ron, do you hear that?
I definitely hear something. What's that sound?
It's the sound of something totally overhyped.
Is that the sound of... Is that what overhyped sounds like?
Absolutely. Welcome, PilzNerdz. Scott,
Brian.
we bring to you today something very special, hence why I'm dressed like a unicorn. Bronies, do not get excited. Just don't.
He is not available.
I'm not available. I am taken.
On weekends.
I'm taken by a centaur, not a pony. This is brought to us by a good friend of mine, a regular of the shop that I work at. His name is Scott Cole. He was nice enough to lend us this pedal. This is the famous / infamous Klon Centaur. This is one of the very original kind of pedals. This was, I think he was telling me this is, I think number like 700, I think, something like that, like 725
The
or
725th
pedal, like Klon pedal
Klon Centaur made.
Yeah. So I won't give like even a super brief history. I'm just gonna give like a kind of synopsis of why this is kind of cool, and then you're gonna hear a lot of words.
Why it's not cool.
Thank you. So this is the Klon Centaur. It is a transparent overdrive, and I was watching Josh Scott, Mr. JHS himself. So I was watching Josh Scott's kind of live video breakdown of this pedal, comparing it to others and all this stuff. I'm not going to do the extensive putting it in line with other pedals and kind of, we're going in dry. That's what we're doing. The Klon Centaur, it was a company called Klon Siberia, and I forget the original owner, but essentially the maker of the pedal, his name is William Finnegan, and there is a business card on the back of this pedal, which I will film and show you guys. Like Scott Cole, my buddy, has a original business card of, it even says on here.
I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, it says removed.
Looks very old.
January of '98 for new contact info. We can only assume this pedal particularly is from mid to late '90s. So
you can only assume he has new contact info because he was kicked out of the country for making such an overhyped pedal.
Yes. So
it wasn't his fault. Actually.
It wasn't his fault. No, and even like he made this pedal called the Klon KTR. And the Klon KTR looks very similar layout of this, but it's a lot smaller, and it is the same exact circuit, but it was reissued. It's the Klon Centaur circuit, overdrive circuit. Even on the pedal itself, it says the hype of this pedal is not of my doing. And it's so true. He did not do any of this. Like, this is not the reason why this is so famous is not because of him. I mean, there are some really cool engineering aspects to this that make this pedal unique, but by and large, this is a $300 pedal. This is where I'm starting to get a little soapboxy, and I'm going to get really soapboxy because I have a lot of things to say. Let's divert that from now. So these were originally made in 1994. That's when they started making them. I forget when they stopped making the Centaur. But what's really cool about this pedal, like the really big engineering aspect of it, why it's so unique, is that it's got something, it's either a charge pump, an ISO pump, or a power pump. But that's kind of the main engineering component in there.
The Lick My Love pump?
Well, this piece is called Lick My Love Pump.
Where's that switch?
Yeah, right. That's the wet switch.
The love pump.
The love pump switch. So what it does is essentially 9 volts goes into the pedal. And what the pump does is it essentially charges and it delivers 18 volts throughout the circuit. So what all that really does for you is give you a cleaner effect. It just gives you a lot more headroom when you have more voltage, and a pedal can take more voltage. You get more headroom, cleaner effect, you get more frequency spectrum, yada, yada, yada. Because at the time when these were made, the tube screamer was such a huge thing, and vintage tube screamers were starting to become pretty expensive. But even then, at the time, from what Josh Scott was saying, is that these, like right off the bat, were like $295. I think they were like around the 200, 300 area.
Yeah, for a custom pedal.
For a boutique pedal, and that was kind of like this is what caused the resurgence of the boutique market. That people
really?
Like, yeah, this is kind of that's the reason why all these boutique pedals exist, is because this pedal was like, it was niche, it was a new overdrive, it wasn't a tube screamer, it was built by one guy, all this kind of crap. But
this is your fault.
That this pedal is $5,000.
Yeah, guitar nerds, pedal nerds.
Scott knows the score of when I borrowed this. He knew what he was getting into. He signed the terms and conditions of this episode, of knowing that this is the dumbest pedal on the planet that exists because of you.
God damn you, Bernice! Oh.
Bad.
You bad pedal nerd. Bad gear nerd.
You're bad.
You're bad. You should be fired from the music industry. All those who collect pedals like these and sell them for $7,000, are you fucking ridiculous?
Hey, if people buy them, it's people that buy them for $7,000. They wouldn't sell them for $7,000 if the bad people didn't buy them for $7,000+.
I get it. It's just this cycle of stupidity.
Said to JHS guy.
Well,
put an original one on the market for $500,000.
$500,000.
$500,000
yes.
for this fucking clunker.
This clunker that does. There's not even like special transistors and shit that go in. You can buy a soul food from Electro Harmonics for like $80 used market, and you're spending $7,000 on the same. What is wrong with you? This is where I get really.
Someone's mad they don't have $7,000 just laying around. Apparently.
This is also true. But I still wouldn't pay $7,000 for an overdrive pedal.
Yeah, there's
Y'all.
plenty better overdrives.
Absolutely.
Much
I mean,
cheaper.
honestly, I think you can pay $100 for an Earthquaker Devices Plumes pedal, get the same result and more than this. If people were selling these for what they're worth, which is $400, I would top it up $400. God bless you. Have a great time. Like that's what this is worth. The fact that this has been overhyped and so, like, the market has been so botched on these for people because it's a Klon.
Get on with it. Yes, get on with it.
I just don't get it. I'm totally baffled, and I can hear how the pedal sounds, but like.
Yep. All right, let's hear it.
Like my flat. Motherfucker, I'm flat. I literally tuned my guitar right before the shit. It's PRS. It's got David Grissom humbuckers, PRS humbuckers in there. So, you gotta be kidding me.
Maybe your guitar tuners are overhyped.
Okay, cool. So, clean tone. So, it's Paul Reed Smith, Starla with Paul Reed Smith, David Grissom humbuckers, going into a Mini 101 with a closed back cabinet. So, clean tone. What do you say?
With a closed back cabinet.
Alright, so here we go.
Clunk.
Clonk! Clunk on the Klon. I got the gain pretty high. This is like close to midnight. I mean, I kind of took a recommendation from Josh Scott on the video to like use it more of a gain pedal. It's good. I don't have much to say about it. A lot of times people will use this. I'm not running through a tube amp, so this won't do the same effect, but people will use this as like the clean boost. Sounds cool. It sounds really good, but I just don't
Not
think
$7,000 good.
I don't think it's $7,000 good.
Yeah.
I think you have to be a collector. You got to be one of those guys that buys
Jacks off with sandpaper.
Hell yes.
and buys a $10,000 guitar to put on his wall and go, "Hey, look what I own."
Yeah.
And that's the
totally,
thing.
yeah.
And so I want to mention this too, because Scott Cole, the guy who was lending this to me, it was really nice enough to let us borrow this. And he's not part of the hype too. He bought this in the early 2000s at a little tiny shop here in Austin, Texas. He bought this and another one at the same time for about $250 a piece, for $250 a piece.
Pretty dope.
That's
So
see, he's not a part of the hype either.
now he's got like, these 2 pedals that he could sell. If he wants to make an extra, $16,000.
$10,000. So
If he's in a pinch, he can get he can get some money.
exactly. So he played a gig. He told me this. He played a gig one night. He was running out of his. He had both of his Klon pedals on the board, and literally one guy came up. He had no idea about the hype. He's playing 2 Klons at once through his Marshall half stack, and a guy walks up to his board and goes, "Wow, you."
He's like,
And-
what?
Yeah. So I was like, "What are you talking about, man?" And then he started doing the research and was like, "Oh shit, I'm sitting on some money here."
Dude didn't even know.
Had no idea. He had
So
no
not
idea.
a goddamn oil field.
Right? Exactly. So I could say a lot more about this pedal, and I don't want to because it'd be
I
talking.
think you've been insufferable enough.
I think so, and
so far this episode.
I just want to say, you're free to do what you want to. If you want to buy a simple overdrive pedal for $7,000,
That is your idiotic choice.
if you want to go buy Electro Harmonix $50 soul food.
Or the Amazon, I don't know.
Yeah, the Joyo, whatever Joyo pedal you want to put on there. Like honestly, there's so many better choices, y'all, and so many better people make just as great copies as these. And I
It
think
sounds pretty good. But
it sounds it's a good pedal. So let's just get to the
it sounds
top.
pretty good for a hunk of shit.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks a little weathered, but
It is. It's a little weather, but you know what? Like,
it looks like it's from the 70s.
I'll say this. My final statement on this. It's a good pedal. It's not $7,000. That's it.
Yeah, top it out at 400.
Top it out at 400. That's what they're
But
worth.
I mean, it's all about.
It's a free market. And I
It's
get
it's
that too.
it's scarcity. It's
It
all
Yeah.
It's like the less of it there is, the more people will.
And I
be
got
like,
that
oh,
too.
That's cool. I'm gonna buy that holographic Charizard for sure, first gen.
Yeah.
I get it. It's rare because they're not making the first run of these anymore, obviously.
Exactly. Yeah. It's capitalism. I get it. Like it's a free market. You can charge what you want if the demand is there. I understand
Yeah.
that.
You can
But
sell-
you're
yeah.
still an asshole for doing that, and you're an idiot for buying it.
Yeah.
So
Scarcity, man.
scarcity sucks. But tone notes on this. Let's get real for just one quick second. It's not as it's not like crunchy as an overdrive pedal. I think this is a soft clipping. I think it's a soft clipping circuit. I could be totally wrong, so correct me on that one if I am. But it's very smooth. It's still an overdrive. You get your clipping, but it's just not. It's not like doesn't have a lot of bite. It's got the overdrive, but not a lot of bite.
It's still fairly tame.
Yeah, it's still a tame pedal. It's pretty. It's pleasant. It all like you can hear every note of a chord. I mean, even if I play like a very jazzy chord, like everything kind of resonates, kind of as it should, which I really dig that of this pedal. And again, I'm not talking shit about the pedal. I'm just talking shit about people who buy it.
How about you?
Yeah, and I'm happy the fact that the guy I'm borrowing this from, kind of it fell into his lap at a really good price. So.
The one good owner of a Klon Centaur.
Yes,
The
yes.
one good guy.
Yes, exactly. So we got sweet. I've got so much of my soapbox I forgot what I even said.
Yeah, you just don't even want to say anything nice
It's
about how it
fine.
sounds.
But yeah, but it's a good pedal. It's nice. It's smooth. You get the grit without the bite. It's a very cool pedal. By and large, it's a very cool pedal. There's others that do the same thing. Let's just this is supposed to be a horse meditation, so let me just like.
He needs to calm down.
I know. This is this is not what a unicorn would do.
Just look at the horsies.
Okay. That's nice.
Aw.
Aw. Aw.
Hello.
All right. Well, Bonnie, do you want me to like give the soapbox to you now?
Yeah. It's time to pass off the soapbox to me. For today's beer style that is also overhyped, or just beer in general, but mainly the beer style, I brought this.
I was pooping!
Ah!
Clap again. Oh, yeah, cool. The electric jellyfish.
Yep. It's a hazy IPA, as you know. I mean, if you're in the local Texas scene, you know this hazy IPA. But basically, I wasn't pairing this beer with the pedal so much on sound. It was more on just like, once again, overhype. I know I might get a lot of flack for this, local industry, beer industry wise, but I bet that even the brewers at Pinthouse, I should have mentioned, Pinthouse Pizza, Pinthouse Brewing
In Austin.
Even they would say it's like, yeah, like the hype around it, it's
because of you!
Kind of a lot.
Sorry. I'm still on the Klon.
It's like this pedal, it's very good beer.
It is.
But the hazy IPA style in general is just like kind of has way so much hype around it. And I will allude this to I always compare this to a story when I was shopping for beer at Central Market one time, and
a local grocery store here in Austin.
They got a great beer selection. Kudos to them. Yeah, I was just buying beer for one of these episodes, and this lady walks in and asks the beer guy, it's like, hey, I was looking for electric jellyfish. Do you guys have any of that left? My husband is looking for that beer. He's like, we actually just sold our last 4-pack, our last like 19, I think at the time, $20 4-pack.
Oh.
So, it's $20, like, 16-ounce cans, but still 4-pack. And this is not new with hazy IPAs, I guess. She's like, my husband wants this beer in particular. He's like, oh, I'm sorry, we just sold our last 4-pack of Jellyfish, but here's this hazy IPA, here's this other hazy IPA that's really good. She's like, but my husband wants this one. And this like poor beer guy who's just like, oh God, dude, it's like, just like, here, get the Sierra Nevada hazy little thing. Like, that's a great substitute.
Exactly.
A lot of great, any local brew pub is making a hazy IPA right now. Any local brewery making it pretty comparable, like fresh. The key is
literally
freshness.
The only freaking like brewery that does solely German beers has made a hazy IPA.
Oops, I made one. Sorry.
You suck. Canceled.
But because of the hype, and we're the same thing. It's like people will spend money on it, so we'll make it.
Is this $7,000 as well?
Well, it's not $7,000, but it's I think $18 a 6-pack. So it's gone down a little bit, but still.
Golly,
no, $18 a 4-pack.
It is 16-ounce crusher.
But they'll charge it for that if people keep buying it for that money. So
supply and demand.
Supply and demand, or just hype and demand.
Hype and demand. Yeah, I like that a little more.
Before I get on my soapbox even more, let's give it a hardcore pour, shall we?
Reluctantly.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Oh, you sound so not excited.
I'm just. I'm over it.
Yeah.
I'm over it.
A little bit about Pinthouse Brewing, local Austin brewery, brew pub chain.
They're awesome. I have to
They
say,
are great.
I fucking love.
Yeah, no disrespect to the Pinthouse team at all, but they know how hyped hazy IPAs are, and they were kind of on the forefront of making hazy IPAs.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of were one of the breweries that helped kind of popularize the style.
You know what's funny? Before you get into your soapbox, I have to say this was really hilarious. Before before Pinthouse started canning Jellyfish, at the shop I was working at, also pre-COVID,
The before times.
there was this couple that came in, and they were from out of town, and they were saying, or they asked, like, as they were leaving, like, hey, does anybody know where we can get cans of electric jellyfish? Because we really love hazy IPAs. I know, like, literally, I channeled you at that moment of like, well, you can go to the south location. They have it there, but they're not canned.
Yeah, it's just growler fills at that point. Back when growlers were really popular.
Yeah.
Maybe crowlers were a thing before they started canning. I think they did crowlers for sure. But it's, once again, just like there are so many other hazy IPA choices if you can't find the choice. Just like, before we started canning Hefe, there's like Live Cafe. Just buy Weinstefana.
Wheezy Steven.
Wheezy Steven. I like Wheezy Steven.
Wheezy Steven Hefeweizen. Just get that until we can it in 2015. You'll be fine. But yeah, I don't know what exact year Pinthouse started, but I definitely was like the early 2010s.
Okay.
That sound right?
That sounds about right. I think that
they're not that old.
yeah, they're relatively new.
Yeah, they started with that one location and have just exploded into now I think at least 4 locations in the Austin area.
Pinthouse? Oh, that's right. There is like one.
Burnet, South Lamar, Round Rock, and now one just off 35 and 71, Ben White.
Yes, I think I passed that one the other day.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So good for them. Yeah, they're killing it.
I'm happy that they, because it was like, I think I was going to your house or something, and there was like a Pinthouse, like, it didn't look like it just looked like a production brewery. It didn't look like a place you could sit and eat at or anything.
Yeah, it's mostly production for big surprise, more Jellyfish. And the other beers they make are great too.
Yeah.
But once again, like even the other brewers will tell you, it's like there are other great hazy IPAs that are made around the States, and
Absolutely.
this is really fresh in our market. But if I was like, if you're out of state trying to beer shitlord for Jellyfish, it's like, just don't. By the time you get it, it's not going to be as fresh. Just drink the local hazy IPAs in your market, and it'll mostly taste like this. You've had one good hazy IPA. There are some bad ones, definitely, but this is a good one, and there are a lot of good hazy IPAs.
Totally. I agree. There's a ton of them, and the craze is the closest thing I've seen that can resemble this, and it's interesting. It's very, it's such a hype thing, and I'm not gonna say like hazy IPAs are bad, because I actually kind of quite like hazy IPAs, but I'm not like, that's not the first thing I think of when I go to a place. Like,
No.
oh, what hazy IPAs you have, just to be a part of the clique.
So I'm just so sick of this whole the hazy IPA like just trend and just shitlording, and it's just like, have you tried this brewery's hazy IPA? Yeah, it tastes like every other. You've had one. You've had most of them.
Hey, you want overdrive pedal? Yeah, this sounds like every.
That's what I was trying to say. Like, there are a lot of overdrive pedals that sound just like this,
And sometimes better. Yeah, better.
Electric Jellyfish is one of the best hazies, but it's hard really to say what is the best hazy IPA.
Yeah,
Because there's so much batch variation with
absolutely.
how it's hopped and what hops we're using, how fresh are those hops, do they have a good growing season for that particular hop? Like, hop flavors change all the time, and it takes like, really picky brewers to like pick this stuff out, but most people like don't taste that, so just like, oh, it's a hazy, I'll drink that.
Mm-hmm.
So sick of it.
I'm right there with you. So, shall we begrudgingly get to the tasting notes?
Finally get to the tasting notes.
Let's see.
Just like a lot of hazy IPAs, it's very citrusy, or just IPAs in general.
Yeah, super citrusy.
Maybe it has mosaic, because it kind of has that sweaty gym bag.
You know what? After you
scent.
said that, I actually quite agree. For
Yeah.
sure.
But kind of like mildly stinky sneaker. Yeah, like with a little bit of the rubber. I'm not selling this beer at all, apparently.
No, you're not. I think you're. Hey,
Mosaic.
Ryan, your pretension is showing.
Dial it back a little bit.
No, it's a good beer. I'm just getting mostly kind of upfront citrus and bitter.
Yeah, pineapple.
Okay.
Little peaches. Yeah.
It's kind of like
It's like a tiki drink.
yeah. Okay? This is my just idiocy and ignorance here, but peaches have rinds, or no? Rinds only for like citrus fruits like orange,
peaches
lemon,
have skin.
skin. It's kind of like peach skin.
Sure.
That's kind of what I'm getting. It's not
Yeah.
like the true sweetness and meat of the peach. It's kind of that kind of
Yeah.
peachy skin.
Yeah, brewers will say stone fruity.
Okay, cool.
Stone
I can
fruity.
dig. Yeah, it's very
Stoner fruity.
It's what? No, I can really get more.
Maybe
of
a
that.
little dank. You know, these hazy IPAs tend to be a little dank, like pot.
I'm not getting the dank for me.
That's
Granted,
fine.
Like, that's but like
That's fine. You can't even smell fucking dazzle.
what good am I?
You suck!
It's good though. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of that. Yeah, like I can definitely taste peach. Good of it, like that pineapple, kind of slightly orangey.
Yeah.
Like,
It has a mild bitterness.
yeah.
It's pleasant. I can see why hazy IPAs are pretty popular because the bitterness is lower.
Mm-hmm.
They're fairly they're just you know kind of thick slimy citrus balls.
That it's funny because like it usually with IPAs that I've tasted, like I guess more West Coast, it's like they're like a dark amber, and this is kind of nice. The fact that it is like a more goldeny color.
Yeah,
as
it
you
looks
can
nice.
see.
It's hazy as fuck, obviously.
Mhm.
What I do like about Jellyfish in particular, it never quite gets well. Sometimes it has, but it gets to the point where you get what we call hop burn in the industry. I don't know, but at least some of us say it, where they just like over cryo dry hopped it, like the essence of dry hopping it with the true essence, like the innards of the hops that make it.
Got it.
That the flavor compounds in hops, the lupulin glands as we call them. It's basically you're dry hopping with straight lupulin glands, and it's just
by the way,
so much of it.
This is just over the head for me,
Right.
but I'm enjoying all the education. Hope you are too.
Some of these hazy IPAs are just way too overboard with how much they're dry hopped, and it just like burns, and it's like scraping your throat as you're drinking it. Just like it's like those dry hops are like still like almost in solution sometimes. And sometimes you'll be drinking them, and like you get to the bottom of your beer, and you see the green little specks from like actual hops still in like hop matter still in solution. And it's like that's too much. It's like that is way too one dimensional for a beer. Like that there goes any grain flavor.
Yeah.
That's just all hops. Way too much. But
Yeah.
Electric Jellyfish doesn't quite even approach that level of just like hop burniness. It's a nice, still pleasant,
Oh yeah.
like
Absolutely.
pineapple tiki drink of a hazy IPA.
I can dig that. I can dig like the pineapple, like sense of it. It's a sweeter, but not confectionery y.
Yeah, it's kind of like it has the orangey. It's kind of like a painkiller.
I can dig it.
If I was to pair it with a cocktail. So how did we do, or how did I do with this
Dude,
pairing?
I'm gonna give the first on this show 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
10 out of 10. Like, overhyped. Tastes good, sounds good.
Tastes good, sounds good. Not worth, originally $20 a 4-pack. Not worth 18. But I know hops are expensive, but they're gonna keep charging it. If people keep buying it for that price, they'll keep charging for it. They'll take your money.
Yes.
Once again.
Not worth $8,000. It's just not worth it, guys. Like, the hype you put into something. If it's something really good, I get it. But yeah, like $18 to $20.
You could buy a fairly comparable, and drink plenty of hazy IPAs and find whether ones taste like Jellyfish. And I promise they're ones that are. Find one that's maybe like $11 a 6-pack, $12, $14.
Yeah.
The people that just like, no, I just want this beer for this thing. It's like, come on.
Yeah. I'll say this. I love that Scott bought this for $250 and the other one, which, by the way, he was so nice enough, which we're not going to demo this one right now. We'll probably demo it in the mini. But he was so, not only owned one, owns two, a Goldie and a silver.
Man,
Like, he has both of these.
with the flex.
I know, dude. This is Scott's flex, and it's not even a flex. He was like, I just wanted to buy 2 Klons. They sound good. And he bought them for what they're worth. And that's so freaking awesome of this guy to not only do that, and also so freaking awesome for him to let us borrow these extremely stupidly valuable pedals. Look, I'm just saying, Scott's not wrong by buying what he bought. You're not wrong for buying it. It's annoying that this is a thing.
Yeah.
So go buy a Soul Food. Go buy a Plumes. Go buy, if you want to get in the boutique market, go buy we just did a Mythos episode a week or two ago. Go buy a Mythos Molnir. It's got a little more gain than this. You know, that's even more desirable, I feel like.
Won't take as much room on your pedal board.
No, it'll take literally like a third of your pedal board. So, look, y'all, I'm not trying to be a dick here.
Same. I really don't want to like trigger, you know, the local like beer industry people or Pinthouse.
And I'm not trying to trigger like the.
It's not Pinthouse's fault. It's not.
It's
not
not
Mr. Klon's fault.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not the brewery's fault.
William Finnegan.
It's the consumer's fault.
Yeah.
For being
just way
dumb about it.
Yeah, way too dumb about it. It like you're good, man. You can find other overdrives. It's okay.
If electric Jellyfish is sold out at the store, there are so many other great options for hazy IPAs to buy.
If you don't want to spend $700 on a KTR or $7,000 on an original Klon, get a Molnir. It's okay.
Get the Amazon
Joyo pedal. I don't know what it is, but I'm sure there's a copy. F&A, man. F&A cotton.
F&A.
But we're not here to totally bash you. We're not here to get, you know, we're not here to be complete dicks. Like, we understand, like, things are cool, you know? There are certain things I want that are kind of ridiculous that are expensive, but there are other options. And we love you.
That's the moral of this. That's the moral of the story.
Yeah.
There are other options.
There's always other options.
Yeah.
It's kind of like relationships, you know?
Yeah. There are always more fish in the sea.
Exactly. If one doesn't work out, there are more. It's okay.
If this doesn't work out, just kill yourself.
If this doesn't work out, there are probably some other beer pedal shows that we don't know about. So just stay pretentious. We certainly are.
We're sorry.
We're sorry.
Sorry for all that ranting.
Well, have a great rest of your week. Stay safe and stay pretentious.
Boink. Electric Jellyfish is good.